What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another realistic rebuild on Madden 21, and of course, it's the Arizona Cardinals. You expected it, the J.J. Watt signing, the interesting one to say the least, for him. Not for the Cardinals, obviously. For the Cardinals' point of view, you get a guy like J.J. Watt, 31 it's old, but for a pass rusher, you definitely get some pretty quality years, assuming he stays healthy at 32, 31, 32, 33, whatever. So not, weird for their standpoint. But for his standpoint, it's a little strange because I heard there was some other teams that are a little bit closer, in my opinion, a little bit more safe, in my opinion, that offer just as much, if not more. I really would, from what I've heard, really surprised he didn't join the Browns, but that's not the point. The point is, he's a Cardinal. We're going to see what happens over the span of these next 2, at minimum, years. Maybe we keep him longer. We'll see. Regardless, we are in free agency week 2. We already got our guys that we want, and I will show you guys who they are. It was a pretty good bunch. Of course, Kevin King, very interesting to say the least, but cornerback's not great here. Kevin King's not great, but he's a complimentary number 2. He's okay when he's healthy. He can shine enough, I feel. Chris Carson, a guy that will the Seahawks keep him? Will they not? They have a lot of decent running backs. I feel like they can part with him. And that's what they do here. We get him on a 5-year, $35 or $40 million deal. Sue, a 1-year, $6. Not bad. Joe Thuney, a guy that eludes me all the time. A 4-year, I will admit, was that a 4-year, $44, I believe. And then Tardif says, you know what? Coronavirus, unstoppable. Or we're close enough, one of the two. And he's like, I'm back to football, baby. And the Chiefs can suck it. I don't know why you would say that, but decides to go to free agency. Well, they let him to go to free agency. Patrick Mahomes taking up all that money. Some of the other guys taking all that money. Joins us as our right guard. This offensive line is definitely one to be improved, to say the least. I think DJ Humphries, it's a little unfair that he's still so bad in the game. He was actually a really big shining star for this team. I feel like upgrading him a little bit it's probably fair. EA just kind of being rude to him, especially with his awareness being 86. His ratings are probably pretty bad here. I mean, I feel like this is pretty fair, even though it doesn't even appear that he's going up in overall at all. Like, can I get him to like 80 overall? I mean, even this is probably like not enough, but if he gets to 80, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with him going to star 80, Star 80. Anything else? I don't really think there is. Justin Pugh, we can move him over to center or something like that. Wide receiver, it was on the list, it was on the radar, but didn't feel like unloading any of the cap on that. Of course, defensively, the guy we were talking about, J.J. Watt. Tried to get back Kenyon Drake, of course. Didn't work out, so that's why we went Carson. Didn't try to get Hassan Reddick back. I offered him actually I did try. I gave him like a 5-year, $70 million, I think it was. He didn't want it, or no, maybe it was like 60. Didn't want it, obviously, because he can get more. But I feel like we're okay. I think with the Cardinals not knowing what the hell they're doing, I think it's pretty clear-cut. Just move him to linebacker. You're in desperate need of linebacker. Just put him at linebacker, dude. Like, just get it over with. Just do it. Put him at linebacker or corner. I don't know if he really would be able to make the full switch to corner, but Swiss Army knife, just at least pull out one of the utensils, You can have your Swiss Army knife, just use one. A spoon, the knife, the screwdriver, whatever, dude. We're going to put him at fork. I don't know. What would you say the middle linebacker of a Swiss Army knife is? I don't know, dude. But yeah, lots of needs on the team. I would say O-line could still be one of the biggest needs. DT's up there, middle linebacker's still up there, cornerback is up there. There might be some names you can release, actually, to save some money, but we'll get to that in a moment. Damn, we did not get Geno Atkins. There's still maybe a DT we can try to get. We get a fullback, and then we get John Ross on a 2-year, like $5 or $6 million deal. Not bad. Got $22 million left over, even though we're broke on the funds. Gerald McCoy is still there. Did he retire? Like, I feel like we could drop to DT. I just don't know if I trust us. Definitely been slacking a little bit on the DT draftings. And believe it or not, you probably don't believe it, because he clearly does. I don't like selling out, all right? It's not my favorite activity. It's one of my, I like it. It's kind of up there. But contradicting, if you guys have been enjoying the rebuilds and you want to see more of, not maybe these specifically, but maybe more kind of like the Trubisky on the Chiefs and then, Mahomes on the Bears type of rebuild, let me know by leaving a like, maybe subscribe. I don't know what that voice was. Suggest something, at least. Suggest something you like to see. That's pretty much it. I've been thinking about doing some fantasy draft theme videos, and I'd be wondering if you guys would be interested in that. I don't want to commit to any of that stuff if you guys aren't really going to feel it. So, let me know. I don't know. That's it. Let's go to the draft. All right, so at pick 16, there are some options. I don't think the Cardinals should trade up. I really don't. I think you go best available, see what happens. We're seeing, pretty obvious picks being taken here, and yikes, that's a lot higher than I thought he was going to go. To the Lions, Jalen Waddle to the Panthers. I would think Waddle to the Lions makes more sense, but it be what it be. Patrick Surtain, surprise he's still there, or Surtain, I suppose his name is. I didn't put him on my list because I just didn't expect him to be there, so at the end of the day, maybe we actually get lucky. Once again, this is where I would expect him to go at the very latest. Horn instead. The Vikings need a corner. Surtain is still there. Oh, you got to go Surtain. Once again, I don't think there's a clear-cut number one corner. I think the general consensus is Surtain is that guy. But there's no guarantees. So, this is interesting because you do have an option at other players too, like Christian Barmore would fill our DT position like perfectly, but cornerback like Surtain is not easy to get. You gotta go Patrick. 76 overall, hitting a real steal after losing Patrick Peterson to free agency. That's a massive win. And now we debate what is still there. So Tyson Campbell's still there. Ojulari is not a what's his real name? Ojulari. Like, it must be something like naughty. Aziz? How is that a wrongdoing? I remember when I was like, we shouldn't, the Cardinals shouldn't trade up. That was the first round. This isn't the first round anymore. This would be a steal. They need outside linebacker, but are they in a 3-4? They actually probably would take Ojulari if we don't trade up, so we need something decent to give them. Nah, not Chandler. Well, that's a bit of an L for us. We gave him 49 this, 78 next, and Hicks for 33. Yeah, that didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. I was just kind of testing the waters, so we're going to give him a 4th round on top of it. That should be pretty close, right? I'd imagine. Seems pretty fair. We screwed our next year draft up, but here we are. Rondale Moore is still there. Nah, you can't. You just can't do it. Ojulari would be perfect to play opposite of Chandler. This defense would be loaded, so that's what we're going to do. And, of course, 72 overall hitting, very fast, high potential player. And even though he's projected 49, not a chance we would have got him there. So, obviously, I'm pretty happy with the trade-up. Our next pick would be a pass rusher, so we might be able to move this down a little bit. I think Trey McKitty is, assuming that's even a real person, isn't bad. Kenny Yeboah. Are these both like players that are actually going to be in? Because I kind of think we should go for a tight end. Kenny appears to be a real prospect that's going to be participating in the draft, so we're going to be trading down. I'm half tempted to take like a 3rd round pick from someone next year, honestly. The problem is I don't want to give up a mid-3rd for a 3rd round that could just be anything next year, I feel like we can get more. We had a high 5th from the Falcons, and we get their 3rd round next year, which I think is fair. And I think that's Landon. Is that Landon Young? I can't tell. Maybe they took out Young because people make joke names. So 5th round pick, what do we have? So Ifeatu Melifonwu. Corner's not that big of a need. Oh, what about the safety? He's gone, isn't he? Damn, we had that Ardarius guy, that Ardarius Washington. We would have maybe moved him to cornerback, slot corner. He's a little on the other size situation, but now it comes down to, like, what do we want to do? Because I think we take LeBrian Ray, and McKitty looks like just as good. Like, there's no route running showing, so McKitty looks really good compared. Like, Yeboah and him looks similar. The thing is, Yeboah has a cooler name, I feel, and he's later, so I'm just going to reach for LeBrian Ray now. And we shouldn't have reached for him at all. That's a bit of an L. And I don't know if we have a 6th round pick. If we have a high 6, let's get to the 6th and get this tight end. All right, so we add a little bit of depth next year, 6th round, 7th round pick to trade down with the Jets to number 2. which hopefully our tight end's there. Nice little value pick. Kenny Yeboah, decently fast, and only a 66 overall normal, but one begs to differ. Maybe still start him anyways. Max Williams more of a blocker, if I'm not mistaken, and if not, he's like a super slow tight end anyways, so we need someone to stretch the field, honestly. And I thought it was Landon Young, but it's not because we take him here, 60 overall, yikers. Okay depth, I suppose. For draft recap, there's some people are, don't check their devs. Don't check their devs. Okay, fine, we won't check their devs, but it's not going to matter because all of them are starting anyways. Yeah, okay. All right, so starter, and those are only 2 hidden we got. Not the worst draft in the world, but we did end up losing our 3rd, 4th, and I believe 5th round picks next year. We do have an extra 6th and 7th, but it doesn't really make up for the losses, do they? And we found a hidden punter. I will take it. Can I get him? Thank you. And the old faithful himself, Jared Davis, as the backup middle linebacker. I suppose the starting middle linebacker in this case, the number 2. And we are 81 overall for the first actual season. 81 overall, I would say, doesn't do us justice, but I think it does. Offensive line, it's got some patchwork at the center spot, and right tackle's not going to last forever. Right guard might need to be replaced already. It was only a 1-year deal, and tight end, we might have to draft someone. Quarterback looks to be fine. Running back looks to be fine. Wide receiver number 1 is fine. Number 2 and 3, though, we'll have to see, because obviously they look promising, but no guarantee. As far as the defensive side of things, outside linebackers look good, but Chandler Jones already 31. My guy. Budda Baker, obviously one of the best safeties in the league. Mr. Jalen Thompson, trying to join him as one of the best or make the best safety tandem. Going to have a big jump this year, though, and I feel like he's at least going to get to star or at least a decent bit of XP, hopefully. Ajulare, obviously, perfectly fine. Middle linebacker number 1, perfectly fine. Number 2, we'll have to draft someone. D-line is, it's not in shambles because you have Watt, but it could definitely be better at certain spots. Corner looks to be set, though. Number 1 and 2 look great. Number 3, Kevin King. We don't talk about him. Okay, that was a little bit faster than I thought, but Jalen Thompson, dev trade increase, star development, 10K XP. Chandler Jones wants a 3-year deal. I would like to not give you that much guaranteed money. That's what I would like to say, but how can you really deny this with the contract they offered J.J. Watt, who's an outsider? Ah, man, a 3-year deal. Can we do a 2-year? 2-year 42. Sounds like a tag. I don't know. Christian Kirk, though. Maybe we do need wide receiver. I don't really want to give a 3-year 30 out to a guy that, I mean, does he really, is he guaranteed to be our guy? 68 release? Okay, I mean, great traits, but 68 release? I don't know. We signed Wharton in free agency to a 1-year deal, and apparently now he's star development trade. This costed us a lot more than it probably would have. We would have just signed him when he was normal, but a 4-year, $24 million deal, that actually kind of hurts me. But yeah, Kirk's not having a great season, and Chandler Jones, I feel like we should just tag. So, things are a little weird. We actually kind of turned the season around a bit, and somehow, surprisingly, this team made the playoffs. This team was 3-6. 3-6, and they won 6 of the last 7, and they snuck their way into the postseason, which is absolutely impressive. The rest of the division kind of sucked. Kyler Murray, not great himself. Rushing, Chris Carson, totally worth it. Could go to superstar. Receiving, I mean, those numbers aren't great, DeAndre Hopkins with 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns is pretty decent stuff. Kirk, it's not bad, but should we have just signed him? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Blocking, actually not bad for this makeshift line. Simmons could go to X Factor. Really good season, actually. Sack totals, 9.5 for Watt. Totally worth the contract. Jones, worth the tag. Everyone else can suck it. Picks, interesting for a couple of players. Brett Maher, not bad, actually. Pretty decent season. Andy Isabella with a kick return touchdown. Nice. That's actually not super common. Rodgers with the league MVP. I don't know if we would have won anything. Maybe some rookie thing? No? I mean, nothing at all, I guess. Yeah, Ajulari was kind of bad. But, nonetheless, we are in the postseason. And here we are. I'm glad, considering we made the comeback on the season, that we did end up going to the playoffs, because it would suck to go 9-7 or 8-8 and just miss the playoffs and get a bad pick for nothing. At least here we probably get a little bit of bonus XP. And you never know. We always make the... Look at the bottom of the screen. Perfect example. The Jets beating the Chiefs. That's obviously only a Madden sim thing, but oh my. I mean, if they can do it, we can beat the Cardinals, the Carolina Panthers, who don't deserve to be here at all. We at least have, kind of an okay team to get it done. They should just not be here. They're just missing too much, honestly, specifically on the offensive side of the ball, in my opinion. But here they are, competing at a very high level and actually leading in the fourth quarter. Not a bad little comeback, and here we are clutching up in the fourth and going on to the divisional round. Not bad at all. Something's got to give with this playbook, though, because Kyler Murray is just not performing as a pure passer. It's just not doing it. He's not running the ball much either with himself, so, I mean, something's got to give. If you're not going to run with your speed and you're going to throw badly, then, like, hello? Help me out here. Give me a reason to start you. Kyler Murray, improviser, I guess, is another upgrade we will go for. 4 points. What has he got? Of course, medium's a little low, but overall very solid. 25 trucking. There's bad trucking. There's weak players. And then there's Kyler Murray, who's on his own little stratosphere of puss and boots. Of being a perfect person that can't take a hit. Sometimes it happens. All right, going to the end of the game, and Saints get off to a decent start with a touchdown. We get 3 back. Defense is doing well. It's just offense isn't making the most of those opportunities. 14 points, considering how many possessions I've seen them have, is not bad at all. It's tied up at 14 all. 21-14 now. Arizona putting on a little bit of a show here, considering all things. And, of course, the Saints come back. What happened here? Cardinals win. Out to the championship game. I'm not going to lie. Going to the Super Bowl here in general, let alone winning it, would be quite something. It looked like it may have been a kick return touchdown, perhaps? It was in overtime. A pick 6, I think, by Patrick Surtain. Oh, what a god. And something, sounds like Coach listened, because Murray, even though he had the pick, did play pretty damn well. Outperformed Breeze, who had 4 interceptions. Rushing was absolutely terrible across the board. And Kirk, I mean, he's playing like a pretty damn good player in the postseason. I don't even know if there's an if. Oh, look at Surtain. In general, I might have to re-sign him just for this postseason performances, man. We know of a man, a local legend, Larry Legend, who was a great playoff performer, and look how he turned out. Obviously, that's a little different probably, but regardless, similar kind of thing, no? Injury, I almost never see injury upgrades, and wow, what an upgrade. +3 to zone, +2 to man. I honestly would have thought his man and zone would have been a little bit better than that, but obviously with those upgrades, that is massive. That is a very good upgrade. And Ojulari looks like the guy they just lost, Hassan Reddick, in-game at least. Or maybe Hicks I'm thinking of, I don't know. But obviously not looking super great here as we have to face the freaking 12-4 Buccaneers, who are at 88 overall. It's one thing to beat the Panthers. It's one thing to beat the Saints barely when Breeze throws the game away, but the Buccaneers, this does not look good. On the other side, it looks like it's likely going to be the Browns. Will it matter, though? That's the question, because obviously if we don't make it, we don't really care. No real scoring so far. They get 6, do not get the extra point. We do on our touchdown drive, though. And, man, this really is anyone's game. This is any given Sunday type of game, it looks. And, man, nobody is really, climbing out of the hole. Maybe they are now, as somehow Arizona is going to go to the Super Bowl in the first year. I don't even know what that voice was. The first year. I got to show you guys we aren't, forcing wins or anything like that. This D is legit. And if you watch our Rams franchise, you know we agree with that. As Brady goes for a 21.8 passer rating. I mean, this is just, terrible. One of the worst playoff performances ever. This is insane. Rushing wasn't great, but it was, better, I suppose. And Kirk, he's got to get the contract. It's just, at the end of the day, he's a huge, really, Maher, a huge reason why this team is in the Super Bowl. Obviously, some pretty nice signings. The draft was nice. Surtain appears to be, one of the best steals of all time. Because, obviously, 2 picks in that one game, pick 6 in overtime, it would appear. He's playing out of his mind already as a rookie. And, of course, Ojulari is a very solid starter as well as a rookie. This team is definitely nowhere near complete, but they could already win a ring. This is such a strange one. Let's go to the Super Bowl. I don't know if we would have had any dev-ups, maybe somebody, but show you guys that we didn't cheat. That's the main thing that matters, because this is a strange one. Start with the wild card round where we went in. Obviously didn't play, no force wins. The Saints, not a very tough team to beat. We beat them. And then Buccaneers, really solid, and we destroyed them in the second half specifically. And of course, Cleveland moves on, so it's going to be all for nothing, but that's still impressive as it gets. Any dev-ups at all? Interested to see. Offensively, no, not even Carson. Defensively, Simmons to X-Factor does not surprise me. Surtain, I think, may have already been Superstar. I'm pretty sure he was. And then Byron Murphy, definitely not Superstar before this. That's a massive upgrade. And, of course, Jalen was already Star. I remember that now. And then Wharton didn't get his little thingy thing. Very high overall now. Could have gotten to Superstar. He was only Star for fact. So if he's Superstar now, which he's not, that would have been insane. But it looks like a pretty worthy contract. I mean, we've seen this guy as a backup never do anything for us for so long. And finally, he's actually going to become a starter somewhere. That's pretty cool. And yeah, after this season, upgrades and all that, this team looks a lot more promising than they did when this whole thing started. I'll put it that way. Man coverage again for Byron Murphy. And he doesn't really get much going for him there, but here it is. A chance at the Super Bowl in year one. 88 for them. Still only an 85 for us, but once again, anything can happen. Although it is the Browns roster. I don't think they have Odell anymore, though. They probably, I've seen him in free agency. Seems like he was let go. Baker, the sim god. Let's see what happens. Give up the ball almost immediately. Gave him a field goal. 7-3, 7-10. A lot higher, well, not higher scoring, but a lot more interesting early out the gate than last game. And yikes, this is not looking good for us. We are getting smoked out here. 13-34 and start of the fourth quarter. I mean, this is... yeah, this doesn't look super great for us. The Browns are they just do Browns things in Madden, unfortunately. I mean, we don't deserve to win, so it's unfortunate, but we made a Super Bowl trip. I don't know where that puts us, though. It's a very strange one. Like, we're the second best team in the league based on, where we finished. Oh my, Kyler with 4 interceptions. That's an L and a half. But, I mean, I got to think the defense was kind of carrying this thing for us. And, the luck ran out. Luck ran dry. And, here we are with a pretty disappointing end to the season. I mean, surprised the hell out of us. But overall, as far as, how close we came, just barely missed out on winning it all. J.J. Watt was looking pretty damn smart there for a moment. But, unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Re-sign period now. Once again, I think we kind of got everyone we wanted. We just got to tag. Oh, actually, we didn't, because we got to get Kirk now, who's asking for even more money than we could have just given him. I really don't want to lose Kirk now, because he actually played really good in the postseason. There we go, really well in the postseason, I guess. Cheaper deal for Chandler Jones. It's not a 3-year, but wait. 14 mil signing bonus. So this would be fair, and then we got to get this to 36. I mean, I'd be willing to do this. A little sleazer, 22.5. I guess we have to tag him, let him go after the season, I think, because that regression is harsh. Tardif was actually pretty decent for us, but I think we're going to let him go. Jared Davis, no thank you. Backup quarterback, your name scares me. Chase Edmonds, not a bad complimentary piece, but it was pretty much the Chris Carson show, so... Let's just ignore that. As far as free agents go, we have 25 mil to work with. Anyone we can get rid of. I think there's a couple of contracts here that are a little too expensive. Like Humphreys, not a bad tackle, but I guess you're not going to save that much. JJ Watt, obviously. Justin Pugh, this could be a decent one. You got to get rid of Pugh for that price. 75 overall is not good enough. Kyler Murray. I mean, we don't actually have that many contracts that are kind of cheap or anything like that. It's just not... a little worrisome, especially considering we have to pay some players, so a little bit of a yikes, I can't lie. Hopkins making bank around here. J.J. Watt making some decent money. Chandler Jones making some money with that tag. Yeah, it's a little scary. I mean, maybe we can sign, maybe we can spend about 10 mil at best. I'd say 10 mil, no more, and a lot of the players in free agency, especially if they're decent, are going to be more than 10 mil. Deron Payne would be a name. there are some names here. Once again, we got to be very careful because there's some re-signings we need to make. Of course, with Byron going to Superstar already, that's going to be a lot of money. So it is going to be a rough one. We'll see what we can do. And Wosu would be nice, but is he that big of a need? I don't know. All right, free agency time. We have 35 mil, but we put about 16 mil in. I know I said I was only going to spend like maybe 10, but we got some offers, or not, we don't have some offers. We've seen some players that we kind of want, so, there's that. Do we end up giving Kirk the full-on deal? I think we did. So we actually got a decent deal on Evan Ingram. We offered him a 4-year 30, I believe. Franklin Myers, I think, was a 3-year 15, and then the rest were, pretty cheap deals. And I don't think we're going to be offering much more than this. But yeah, that's pretty massive getting Evan Ingram. These receivers obviously get tremendously better because of that. We have a decently high third-round pick, no fourth, but we worked it out. Our draft class is pretty much full at this point. The big thing I feel like we should work on is getting replacements for Chandler Jones and Mr. That could be a decent one. And Mr. Actually, should we keep that? Mr. Watt? Just because those guys look like they're going to be on their way out very soon. Late first, please. Damn, an early first. Really? Oh, there you go. That's got to be a guy. A late second as well. Something tells me he's probably is going to be normal, but if he's decent enough, could work out for us. We'll see. Late second. Do we need a middle linebacker? Oh, we definitely do. We may be taking some reaches. We might have to. I mean, we don't have to do anything. This is a free world. Ooh, early third. There's some decent players actually at the linebacker position. We may have to trade down from our first round spot to like pick 10 in the second, because there's just so much good talent in the later portions of like the second round that honestly, unless there's like a clear-cut beast, that guy's pretty good actually, a clear-cut beast in the first that we can maybe try to get, I just don't think I honestly think we should just like blow the load this season. Honestly, like there's so much talent here in the later parts of the draft that I just don't think it's worthy. Honestly, I think you don't waste your opportunities and you trade down and get as much as you can, and if you have to trade up for next year, do it. I just like what I see. Oh crap, I can't remember what freaking overall Murray is. I imagine he's pretty high overall, so let's just pick up the 5th here. Please tell me he's in the 90s. Please tell me. If he's like 86 overall, I'm going to be so mad. Please be in the 90s. Okay, he's 90. Okay, so I think at best we could have maybe saved like 5 mil a year over the span of like 5 years or 6 years, but I don't think that would have mattered too much. Even if then, I think you have to wait till week 3 or 4. We'd have to hold off on upgrades, and thankfully he's in the 90s. All right, like I said, I'd be willing to trade maybe not a first round next year, but anything past the first round. Don't tell me that guy. That guy looks so familiar. Don't tell me that guy was one of the guys that we were going to take. This guy is the like number one must-have player. The problem is, I can't tell if he's actually a speed rusher, so he needs to be our first pick just in case he's actually a coverage guy instead. 6 foot tall, 223, definitely doesn't scream speed rusher. So very good chance that that's actually a middle linebacker pick. There's still some other linebackers, so at the end of the day, we're going to move to 8, I think, and hopefully gain like a high 4th or something. I'm not really sure exactly what the value is there yet, but we'll see. Hopefully we didn't sell because we gave up our starting center to the Rams. That's the team. 31 this, a 4th round next, and Galliard for 39 this, 71 this. And, of course, the Rams will be selecting Dustin Peters. Not too shabby. Hopefully this linebacker's not gone. If he is, we sold tremendously. He's gone. We sold tremendously high. Nice. Can't wait to find out what team he was on. What team was it? Oh, he went kind of high to the Dolphins. Damn it, we should have just taken him. It said late second. I mean, that is a bit of a reach, no? I mean, we did need a pass rusher more, which I suppose that's probably what we'll end up getting with Mr. Roberts here, who's pretty young. We do need a middle linebacker. I don't know if you should be reaching this high, though. I feel like you could easily get Ben Tobin at like 14 or something. But you know what? We're going to take this guy. At the end of the day, we seen what happens. Teams draft high. Ben Tobin, he's ours. 73 overall normal, but insanely fast, obviously. Very fast. Not a bad pick. Obviously, I would have taken the hit over that, but, it be what it be. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to trade down to something very close if we can. Or should we go for a next year pick? Nah, we need something close. And yes, I do realize we traded to the Rams. I only just realized that now to take it. But we did, we've seen it in the past. Recently enough, I think the Cowboys and one team in the NFC East traded. So at the end of the day, yes, you don't trade with your rivals too often. But typically, draft picks are fine. Just because at the end of the day, you could be gaining something. Which is, I mean, if you feel like you're winning the trade, then you're stealing from them, right? But then again, you also don't want to be the team to allow them to trade up and take a once-in-a-generation player, do you? Well, the Raiders didn't want the trade in the end, so we are probably going to just be reaching here. Early 4th, this DT looks absolutely insane. I imagine another normal development player here, but probably like a 74 overall. 75 overall normal development. Doesn't surprise me one bit, and that is... it's been this long in Madden. I feel like we should have already known this by now, but that is what EA would consider a gem. Yeah, like I said, it should be pretty obvious by now that's what that is. Offensive linemen, man, they're just so 50-50, but I feel like because we traded off our center, we have to trade, we have to draft somebody. I'm hoping for at least like a 70-something overall normal. I mean, I'm not hoping for a normal, but that's what we're going to get. 68 overall, that's our new center. Taking I wouldn't say bust, but it hasn't gone super well, I'll admit it. Darren Roberts, we're going to risk it, and 70 overall normal, man. This is, there's some really good-looking prospects, and this has gone pretty rough. Pretty rough. Let's go to the start of the 4th, and if that tackle's there, I suppose there's not much more to lose, right? Haven't really given up too much for next year, and he's gone mid-5th. I'm just going to go to next round because he's 23. Wouldn't start till he's 24. This isn't real life where you could start you could wait a guy out and he could be 26 or 27 and be a god like, Cameron Wake or something. But in Madden, you need some time to develop, and we just aren't going to get it with that guy. It might be a reach, but we see how high these guys are going. So I think we should go for this. Oosh. That center looks decent enough. If we can just land like 172 overall or something on the offensive line, at least we'll have some sort of win for the O-line. There you go. I don't know. We might have traded a high 6 because I think we got a 6 off of a team. Who cares, honestly? Brian Thigpen seems to be on like the faster side. Could play guard. Nah, he can't play guard. He's too tiny. We'll see what we can do, though. And I was expecting a high overall. That's why I was already talking about like what position we're going to play him at. I was wrong yet again for like the 50th time this draft. However, we got bailed out by a hidden development. Decently fast, so he could have played guard, but yeah, I think he's going to have to sit at center. He's kind of tiny. That's what she said. This guy's actually not half bad. I think I'm going to take him. Dillard. Junior Dillard. Supposedly not a bad pick, and at 6'4", not terrible. The speed's a lot lower than I would have expected. That's actually kind of a scam, but okay. All right, we added a bunch of 6th-round picks with our 7th-round picks, so, it would be what it be. Get a little bit back, I guess. We landed only one hidden. Of course, we've been over this before. Typically outside of the 2nd round, 1st or 2nd round, you usually get stars. And yeah, you start development trade. Let's see what we missed out on with the Dolphins linebacker. Probably going to be an absolute steal, isn't it? Let's see. Robbie Curley. And I guess he is like a hybrid like we would have expected. He wasn't really a clear-cut positioned player. I don't know. If we probably would have played him at pass rush, developed him there. And, of course, he's a superstar, as you would expect. Gotta love it. Like, usually in Madden nowadays, you don't get those, like, clear-cut, like, gods. But apparently there's one. They were, the Rams traded up. Don't care, because he wasn't that great. He's like a run stopper. Those are dead positions. No one wants those. Can't believe we got scammed that hard by the Dolphins. They drafted so high for him. But obviously it worked out, because he was very good. So, this is a strange one. I have, never seen this. And obviously, I'm not going to sign him because that just literally would not exist. What in the world? I've literally never seen that. We found ourselves a hidden development wide receiver. He's a bit of a slot type guy, so we're going to be taking him. This was actually a very hefty trade, and I wanted to get this done without Andy Isabella involved, and I think I might try to get him back, but pick 50 and 82 with Andy Isabella for Dalton Risner. He's 27 years old, and he needs a contract. So realistically, I kind of want to get Andy Isabella back for free just because we may re-sign him. But more importantly, I think the trade was fair without it. So I think we're going to give them a replacement player in return. We're going to probably give him John Ross, who obviously is on a contract year himself. But still, I just don't think it was fair to lose Hopkins here. And they will take it straight up. If I'm not mistaken, though, Dalton Risner came into the draft as a do-it-all player. This is actually going to help his contract situation as well. It's going to hurt us, but we're going to be playing him at right tackle. I think that was a fair trade. So this is what the team looks like for Season 2. Definitely a little bit better, specifically the right tackle's position. If we can afford everyone, we should be able to have at least 4 good starting linemen for some time, obviously. Receivers, Hopkins at number 1, Kirk at number 2, 3 is Isabella, and then Cooper. Kind of depends on what Isabella wants, how well he plays, and of course what Cooper wants. And we'll see what our number 3 position looks like next season. Chris Carson, completely cocked out of a dev up, should have gotten one, didn't, but he's still good, obviously. Murray, 90 overall, on a option, so gonna have to pay him next season. Chandler Jones has a 95% chance of being gone after this season is over, as he's just gonna regress too hard, in my opinion. Watt might get like a tag or one more year on the contract, which of course Frankenstein head over here is the whole reason we're doing this, so makes sense to keep him as long as possible regardless. But yeah, there's a lot of things to like. Tobin is actually a really decent, fast middle linebacker. Should be set at every linebacker position but Chandler. And then D-line, Wharton, nice little surprise for us, a 4-year deal, so he's here for a while. Franklin Myers is here for at least 3 seasons. And it's a pretty good team. Defense looks almost intact. It just kind of depends on what we can afford. All right, might as well go broke as early as possible. We didn't just trade for Dalton Risner to come and go. So 4-year deal, 31 mil. Watt, a 2-year, 40. I don't know why he thinks he'd be worth more now, but hey, you go off, King. 7-year deal for Byron. Great corners just don't come often like this. Jalen, we'll probably give him a deal. DJ Humphries, that's a bit pricey. Not comparatively what we're already paying him, but in general, it's a bit pricey. We'll see. I believe, where the hell is he? Yeah, Andy Isabella at a 2-year, 10. That's a week 16, though, so we don't know what it's going to be like near the end, but it gives us an opportunity to decide if we want to keep him or not, I guess. But J.J. Watt, a 2-year deal. If he's going to get a 2-year deal, he's gonna get a little bit less than what he already got. I don't want to pay him the tag, but man, that seems unfair. At this point, I think J.J. Watt would be willing to take like a 2-year 25, right? Or even less than that, 2-year 20, considering, like, how is he supposed to be getting more money 2 years after his pretty big signing? That seems harsh. Chandler Jones, once again, probably too old to keep. But I think we can afford everyone. I think we're fine. So I gave him the 2-year 40.2. However, as we know, this game, they're kind of set in their ways. We are going to adjust it to be more fair. A 2-year 23 is what he's going to be getting in the end. So let's drop... Oh, this is going to be a little messy, isn't it? I think I adjusted it. I think I adjusted it to a 3-year 38, which I think comes out to a 2-year 23, if you don't count the real life aspect of it. We'll see, and we'll get it going. Don't worry. We locked up Jalen Thompson on a very team friendly deal. I forgot we had Kevin King, by the way. Frank Cooper is obviously asking for a little bit more now. So is Andy Isabella. Things are moving along. DJ Humphries wants a little bit more. I think we're going to give it to him. If this team is willing to give him what they did give him, and it actually kind of paid off in the end, you're definitely willing to give him a little bit of less money going forward. All right, so we did not get, well, it's not like we didn't get a chance to. We just did not re-sign Andy Isabella, and it's because they don't value the third wide receiver position too much. However, we also learned that they don't value winning too much as we go 6-10. The worst part is we win the final game. We would have taken that 5-11, ran with it. 3-0 to start, and then it went disastrous, kind of opposite of our Super Bowl visiting season. Yeah, we just tripped to the Super Bowl and almost won, and then here we are doing nothing. Kyler Murray yards are insane. Touchdowns are not. Picks are low, though, which is nice. Wow, talk about a great season. Kirk, yards are really high. Touchdowns are not. Hopkins, not great, but not that bad either. Evan Ingram, pretty decent season, actually. And then Andy Isabella just, it wasn't worth a re-signing. We re-signed the hidden development youngster, so we'll see what he can do next season. Chandler Jones, 9.5. Fair enough. J.J. Watt, though, with only 5. He is an interior guy, though, so, you don't only value those guys with sacks, obviously. But Budda Baker, only guy that got picks. Maher, we re-signed, but it was a very low-risk re-signing, so at the end of the day, we will be looking for a kicker. That doesn't, he's not clear of all crimes here, as the MVP of the league is Zach Wilson of the New York Jets. As far as the awards go, we didn't win a single one. We had a couple of guys up there, but nothing really worthy of noting. And the Saints win the Super Bowl 44-23 over the Chiefs. One of the worst parts is because of a season like that, I don't even think we're going to have a single dev up here. Obviously, no one on offense, to my knowledge, would have had one. Yeah, no one on offense. Kirk maybe, but the touchdowns were low. Defensively now... Oh, Tobin went up in dev, but that's literally it. That's a bit of a yikes. Chandler Jones, 85 overall. I mean, it's not... he's very slow, though. 76 speed is really bad. I don't know. Oh, we can't. 2-year 32 would take up the entire cap space, and we have to pay Kyler Murray. Yeah, it's a no-go from me. We actually should be looking for players to release, let alone be re-signing players. I will say, though, Kyler Murray is already getting paid a decent bit of money, though, so at the end of the day, it is kind of like a, once we re-sign him, it'll only be like 14 mil extra, so it's not like, you're going from 0 to like 35 or something like that, and we only have 16 mil cap space, so we should be able to at least afford Kyler. But yes, I will admit we're not in a great situation cap-wise. Got a bunch of guys that are on fresh contracts here. We did properly adjust Watt though, so we did end up getting a lot more in cap. It turned out I actually gave him 10 mil extra, so that actually saved me a decent bit. But obviously, it still doesn't do anything for us in free agency. We're going to still be in the hole a little bit, so we're just gonna take a look at what's here and kind of just take the fork away from the plate. That's a pretty decent analogy, right? Nobody wants Isabella. Interesting, man. We're part of the problem. Every time we see Andy Isabella in free agency, I'm like, man, why would no one want this speedster? We now know. Wow, that is some BS. Bobby Okereke. Look at how cheap he is here. That is such a scam. Like, if you remember Season 1, Hassan Reddick was going for more than this. And he was nowhere near as good. How? Why? I don't understand. We've been scammered. If we, I don't know what our cap situation is going to be going forward, but if we can get, Chandler Jones on like a 2-year 16 instead, I mean, I'd be all about it. I'll just be honest. All right, so similar to last draft, even though that didn't really work out for us, there's some talent later on in the draft. Of course, we do have this wide receiver, which we could take. But once again, number 3 isn't that important, and he's not built really for the number 1 or 2 spot, really. So we're going to let him go. He's going to be a great player, but what can you really do? But there's a lot of talent here. This corner, in theory, looks really good. He is 5'9", though. Damn, I didn't notice that till just now. We have another guy, Sean Vernon, who's a little bit more risky. Medina, this is a guy we have to go for. Honestly, could be our number 1 guy on our board. We have a center in the 3rd. I mean, we've got a lot of players that we can wait on, and we have only really pick 6. Our next pick is in the 5th round, I believe. Yes, you can see that. So we're going to try to pick up quite the package here. All right, so we made a pretty decent trade now. We got pick 34, 38, and 42 for pick 6, which is obviously an absolute win for both sides. Like I said, Medina is our number 1 pick. He is a late 3rd. I don't know if I want to risk it on this center. He looks very good, but I may have accidentally hit the A button. But he was a pretty good player, so I don't really, I'm not super mad about that, actually. I accidentally hit A. I legitimately did, but it works out. It's fine. Of course, only normal, but still. My brain said, do not pass on him, and I was like, okay, fine. Tight end looks all right, but, I mean, that's just too big of a risk. There's no real guarantee in it. This guy, early 4th, is a must. We need him actually like this season, so we need like a plug and play starter. We do have another guy here in the 4th. We got some. I mean, even with these picks, I thought maybe we'd be perfectly set, but man, our players, man, they're pretty damn high picks. So let's trade this for a late 2nd, which once again should net us some pretty decent stuff. So we're trade down masters now after we spent so much trading up the season before. I keep forgetting to sign random running backs and whatnot, though, because once again, we got to, ironically enough, today is that, what is that called? That update where, wait, this is our rival. Damn it. We got to find someone with like 57. This is an update where supposedly this trade logic improved. We'll obviously test that out. Maybe there actually was already a video before this. It's very, very strange timeline. Like, this is just hardly fair, but whatever. We already have a replacement for that guard, so I guess. We get 63 and 95 off the Chiefs for pick 11. And now we will start to take players. I suppose Medina, too good to pass on. Please be good. And he's hidden. All right, there we go. That is a nice win. 72 overall hidden. Very interesting because it might be a little premature. Obviously, we need a number 3, but a premature number 2 because this guy is built more for a number 2 or number 1 spot than he is the slot, but obviously he'll work there anyways. That's a nice win. That's actually a really good pick. Is that the first hidden? Well, we had the lineman, but the first legitimate hidden, first. Oh, is the corner gone? Was he like an early third or something? That's a little bit of a sell. We don't need corner that much, but that still is a little bit of a sell. Damn. O-line's not as big of a need, so I really don't want to take one unless it just looks like the clear-cut best decision. But speaking of clear-cut best decisions, do we have anyone? Yeah, we don't have anything near enough. So we're going to go for this DT who looks pretty damn good. Mr. Braden. Actually, good intentions don't matter. Best available pick doesn't matter in this situation because I don't think we need him. Franklin Myers is on 2 more seasons minimum. We have Mr. Pierce, who just hasn't even started yet. Yeah, there's no point. There's just on it, like, we have too many D linemen. We'll take a look at how good he is, going forward. I mean, unless he's like a superstar or X Factor, there really isn't a loss in this sense. This guy is the guy we should be taking, Mr. Brett Bronson. Let's take him now. Oh my! This is hands down the best steal we have ever had. At least, well, I guess I say ever, but in this ultimate team, this franchise, Jesus, all over the place here, because that is insane. I'm not saying we would have missed them, but there's a chance we would have missed them if it wasn't for the fact that we already had a lot of D linemen. And then people are probably like, he said the line. He said the line. It's been so long. The best we've ever had. Oh, he said it. We got ourselves a literal day 1 starter. I mean, he could have been a 70 overall normal, and he would have been a day 1 starter. But, at least this, he's actually good. Cornerback, I mean, he's risky. I'd like to, know how good he is. But, yeah, I mean, we're just going to have to let it go. Let's go to pick 30, 21 in the third. It could still be there, but unlikely. Ooh, he is still there. I think late first time, we're going to risk him. And another hidden absolute steals. I was just going to let him go. Obviously, once again, we said it before, outside of the second round or first round, likely going to be only star, but hey, that is a steal. Finally, a damn win of a draft. We do have a DT, looks pretty good here. This is a little bit of a different story because we're not really taking him over anyone else. I thought it must have been last draft. I must have just completely sold. I thought we had an elusive back. It might have actually been last draft, and I just completely forgot about the position. This center looks pretty good. The fact that we have that center, though, I think we're going to get rid of this guard. Safety, I liked the combine grade, but that other safety is probably better. We don't need him, but we're going to take him. 73 overall, Chris Moreno. Not bad, but yeah, probably shouldn't have taken him. Let's go to the 5th round. Yeah, we should have traded that down for next year. It is what it is. All right, so everyone is still there, surprisingly. What do we need the most? Middle linebacker, he's okay. He's 23, though, not really the greatest player. That safety looks like the clear-cut best player here. That guy's risky, but he is pretty good-looking, too. Let's go with Keenan Verdon. Is that the same? No, our guy was Vernon. Yeah, it was a lot better of a combine grade than he was an actual player. And this, we could probably see every single player gone. Maybe the center's there. Center and middle linebacker. Don't really need the middle. I'm going to go with the center. Honestly, I'd rather have the center. 6'7" overall normal. So, yeah, I mean, things cooled off a bit, but there's that. If the middle linebacker's there, which it looks like he is, we'll take him, whatever. Andrew Herring. Yeah, I think he's cooled off. We're going to trade all this down for maybe like a 5th next year. Depends on how much we have. We have a lot of 6, it appears. I remember last year we traded a lot of our 7s for 6. Now we're going to trade those 6s for 5ths. And someday, though, they're all going to turn out to be a first-round pick like 15 years from now. And you know what? Screw it. I really don't care. I don't I don't understand why people don't like when... I might actually put a poll up at some point. I don't understand why people don't like when we look at their devs. It doesn't matter. Like, nothing's going to change here. He could be an X factor. He's still going to be the number 3 this season because Kirk was paid a lot. He's the second best receiver. Hopkins, still on contract. He's the number 1 receiver. Nothing changes at the end of the day. You know, with Bronson, oh no, we found out his dev. He's starting no matter what. It changes nothing. Oh, 100%. Hands down. Also, the reason why I like doing it now is because you guys know that we didn't force his dev. Oh, he doesn't have anything in the 50s? I don't like 90s in the outside line. Well, 94 actually looks pretty good. But then, you know, we didn't force his dev because literally when his dev reveals itself, you could change it. But if you change the dev here, which I'll show you right now, unless they changed it, which again, I'm pretty sure they haven't. If I change his dev here to Superstar, I'm pretty sure it shows Superstar. Yeah, so you could see that, you know, we didn't force his dev. Obviously, I'm going to put it back at X Factor now. We may have just cheated, by the way, because I think we've tested it before. X Factor, like, abilities don't matter. But yeah, now you guys may be mad. But in the end, it actually probably hurt us because now he's stuck with these. He could have had... Okay, maybe it doesn't matter too much. But yeah, 85 overall is the ability. What do we... Like, under pressure? I don't think it really matters. Under pressure. And then what is this? Relentless? I mean, that's all right. It is what it is. We've tested before. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, your abilities just don't change anything. We've tested that. It's literally an experiment we do like every year. Superstar. That is surprising. And once again... We already have 2 better corners than him. There's nothing that changes because of that knowledge. Man, that was a very good drop. But like I said, honestly, I may even go as far as saying that is the greatest steal we've ever had in rebuild history because you go back to the old Maddens, which we actually have recently. Check them out on the channel. Steals weren't super hard to get. So a guy like this, that is the best steal we've ever had. It's simply put. Oh, we got to put him at left out. No doubt about it. I mean, that guy is actually insane. Like, that is a number 1 overall pick projected in what was it, a 4th round? Early 4th? Absolutely insane. That's got to be in the title somehow. Or is what the roster looks like for year 3. We have a lot of promise on this team. Hopkins does appear to be regressing here at 31 years old. I'm trying to think of, like, if Medina's like a 78, 79 at the end of the season and we need to re-sign Hopkins, do we let him go? Kirk's 26. I think we have until 28, 29. Really got to get him a damn dev up, though. It's a really good roster. I mean, I think we should at least be in the playoffs. Not even think. I know we should be back in the playoffs. Maybe even make another run to the Super Bowl. As defensively, you could see here, we got an X-Factor outside linebacker, Ojulari at the right outside linebacker spot. The DBs look sick. We've got a superstar. This is probably the first time we've ever had 3 superstar development corners at the age of 25 and under. Like, that is insane. I mean, everything looks perfect. But here's the problem. What do we have to pay? As Kyler Murray, because he's not an X Factor, isn't actually asking for as much as I thought he would. A 6-year, 217. He's the biggest name here. He's the guy that we have to pay the most. So there you go. I mean, obviously we knew we had to pay him the most. And it doesn't appear we actually have to pay anyone else. Isaiah Simmons gets let go a lot in franchise. And, you know, we're actually paying him at... Oh, Jesus. We're actually paying him less than he normally... Actually, about the same as he normally is making. So a little surprising that they don't, you know, keep him at that price. I'm trying to think of what we did. Maybe it's because they keep Chandler Jones. That's probably what they do. They probably re-signed Jones to a 2-year 40, which is massive. You know, we only have like 13 mil left over, so we would probably not be able to pay Simmons. No, not even probably. I think we would just... Yeah, we would miss out paying Simmons because of Jones. And obviously... Who would you rather have here? And we are headed to the next week. It is week 17 being over, and it looks like Mr. Watt is about to retire. I've accomplished a lot in my career, but you know what? Never won a championship, and in this posting, I'm going to do everything I can to change that. Ooh. The whole reason for the rebuild. And here he is. Doesn't sound like he's coming back next year. I don't think it sounds like it either. Also, they wanted us to, like, bench players at 10 and 5. No, we are not going to do that. Do we have a chance at a bye week? We would have been, I mean, we would have had some sort of chance, right? If the Panthers and Cowboys lost, there would have been some sort of shot, right? As you can see here, Points for and against, very, very close. Is that common for this to happen, by the way? Like, is it just, like, complete luck in the NFL? I mean, Cowboys obviously crushed it, so did the Panthers, but outside of the Cowboys, Panthers, Vikings, and Falcons here, you can see a lot of teams in the 10 and 9 win department. I mean, I guess 9's not that big, but a lot of teams that are, pretty much dead even. Like 1 or 2 scores completely changed their season. It's crazy. I don't feel like that's factual, right? I don't know. But we started off kind of shaky, and then we went on a huge tear. Lost 2, won a bunch, lost 1, won. Fair enough. There's some pretty tough teams in there that we lost to. Pretty tough teams that we actually won to. Kyler Murray, yeah, okay, right? 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. That seems very Kyler Murray-ish, especially considering you would think he would run the ball a lot. Didn't really hear because it's Madden Sim, but Carson crushed it. Could be superstar, doubt it. Receivers, pretty average stuff. Don't really expect too much more out of Madden Sim. O-line, don't expect much more out of Madden Sim. 4 names with 100 tackles or more. Gotta love it. Vernon actually played a decent bit, and what a season. Likens 15.5 sacks for Mr. Watt, 6.5 for Simmons. Franklin Myers at 4.5. Really disappointed with Ojulari. I'm not disappointed with him himself. I'm disappointed with EA. The fact that he's 93 finesse, super fast, and he just isn't good apparently. So gotta love that. Speed rusher, what can you really ask for? Interception total is 5 for Byron, who's been absolutely insane this rebuild. Tobin, if he doesn't go to superstar, that's a scam. He had himself a year. Isaiah Simmons, not bad. And then Budda Baker, a little bit lower than normal, but still good. Brett Maher, didn't get a new kicker, but he definitely improved tremendously. A lot less riding on him. Honestly, we went, 6-10? He missed 10 field goals last season. He might have been a big reason why we didn't make the playoffs. As Zach Wilson, back-to-back MVPs. Jacoby Brissett, we got to go with that Patriots play. The Patriots playbook is just OP, apparently. Like, we use it every once in a while, but it usually doesn't work to where you can get 68 overalls getting MVP. Like, come on, man. 3rd for Kyler Murray, which should be an MVP. Ooh, maybe not. Not MVP. Pro Bowl. Defensive Player of the Year, Simmons at 2. That sucks. Rookie awards, Bronson. Didn't really have that great of a rookie year, so he was number 3. Quarterback, hopefully one of Baker or Prescott or us make the Super Bowl. Looking at some of the other awards here, unfortunately didn't really win anything, but still a really good season. We're a 91 overall. We're against the Saints, who just won the Super Bowl, so in theory, if we beat them, even though obviously roster changes in the offseason, we gotta like our chances, right? Moving on, I just want to win a game here. Oh, hello. I'm not ready for this. I mean, thank you, game, for getting me going before I was ready. But I don't like too much change. I'm an old man. I want things to be the same. Back in the day, 4 years ago, when in the prime of my life, as the Cardinals were actually smoking them, 41-22. Saints always have these weird games. Like, they won the Super Bowl 44-22, I believe, which I don't feel like is a common score. That may have never even happened, to be honest. And I gotta assume this wasn't their quarterback last season, but it does say experience 1, so it might have been. Might have won a Super Bowl with this guy. Maybe he's good, I don't know. But didn't really play that well here as Kyler crushed him rushing. Carson was kind of bad. Carson is like a real hit or miss, I can't tell you. Medina in the postseason had a 1/3 of what he had all year, which, he's a very good player, so a little surprised he didn't do more than he did. Maybe maybe we're holding him out for now. Perfect timing. Why not? Number 1, number 2 wide receiver potential in his future. Damn, look at Surtain. Man, lockdown. Patrick Peterson 2.0. What's the team? Championship. Right? 2 games away. Wait, did they fix that? 2 games. We're 2 games away, coach, and I think we've got a good shot. That doesn't really necessarily say that he thinks that it's 2 games away from completing the goal, but maybe he's just 2 games away from getting him to the Super Bowl, so I don't know. The Vikings, very high points for, kind of low points against, so definitely a team that can put up some points and lock some teams down. So 86 overall, we're not going to overlook that. We're gonna be taking a look at this team and saying, hey, we want to win. As the Jacksonville Jaguars at 8-8 took down the Browns, this could be our year. With J.J. Watt retiring, this would be like the perfect send-off. I don't want the rebuild to end just yet, but if we win the Super Bowl when J.J. Watt's going to retire, that's it. I got to end it there. That's just too good of a cutoff not to, as we are looking pretty damn good here. 23-10. Please don't. Please do not, bruh. Did we force the turnover? We did. Thank you, defense, because offense is selling. Damn, I thought we were going to lose. I was like, okay, let's go slow sim, make sure nothing fancy is happening. It's Colin Kaepernick. Can't even fit his head in the screen. Like, he cuts off the damn stats. Come on, man. We can't see the damn stats, bro. Your hair doesn't even fit in the thing. To be fair, they don't give you that much room. Kyler Murray's hair doesn't even fit in the thing. So, looking at the games, both quarterbacks are pretty damn good. Rushing, Chris Carson was better than before, but that's not saying much. Colin with a rushing touchdown. Evan Ingram was decent. Defensively, not really seeing much from J.J. Watt, considering his whole, I want to retire on top. Like, yeah, then start playing better, damn it. But we are headed to the championship, so here we are. That is very harsh, though, for J.J. Watt to retire as like a 90-some overall. That's rough. What is he, Super Bowl bound, right? How? I still just... it gets me every time. I've seen this so many times. It's just... I don't get how $1 billion company is doing. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. Like, this could actually play... Like, that could actually play a factor for a team to win over a team that doesn't have a retiring player. Like, we have a morale boost, even though our guys are probably maxed anyways, against the Buccaneers here that we shouldn't have. It should be for the Super Bowl. What a joke, dude. It's just... Whatever. 89 overall Tampa. Please. I feel like this is the team we lost to, didn't we? Actually, we may have beat them to make the Super... I don't know. All right, here we are. Come on. Send them in. Send them in. Oh, it's 7-all. This isn't good. All right, it's 14-7. Buccaneers are obviously going to give us a bit of a bigger fight than we wanted. It's a massive score before halftime. I've seen this happen before. It's not good letting Tampa score a touchdown before half. Bruh. Please. Is that a first down? We get the stop anyways, though. I have invested a decent bit into this, right? Wow, what a decision to throw. Hello? Why? It's next gen, and I'm going to sell. But at least it's better than freaking punting the ball with 5 minutes left in the Super Bowl. Oh, I do not like this play at all. I'd rather trust a slant over the middle to hop. Why do we go 4 verts like every time, by the way? And that is a very good job by White, who dove after it. Oh, my Lord. Good play. I cannot believe he just passed off that zone that hard. That is, I mean, yes, we came in to help, but that proves that it's not easy. I mean, we made it look easy. You don't get the 2-point, but it doesn't matter as the rookie Vernon gets the pick. And you still don't just, like, seal the game. Do we win, though? Oh, my. How do you not seal the game? You get a pick from there. You get the touchdown. Come on. Come on. Gardner Minshew we almost lost to. They still have him starting. 3 interceptions. Defense just balled out of control. Chris Carson, you are something else, dude. Regular season warrior, they call him. Jeez. And once again, no sign of Watt anywhere, as Vernon carried the day with 2 picks. He's the MVP. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if they're deflection pick, whatever it is. If you get 2 interceptions in a playoff game, you're MVP of the game, hands down. As we have the superstar we signed. That's like the best punter I've ever seen. Elite. Well, I keep saying ever, but when I say ever, I mean like this Madden, because obviously in previous Maddens, players actually developed. And speaking of Gardner Minshew, we go up against the 8-8 Jaguars. They're 8-8. They probably don't deserve a ring, but the fact that they've won this many games at 8-8 tells me maybe they do. Chris Carson doesn't go to Superstar yet again. Tobin doesn't go to Superstar. That's a scam. We didn't get a single dev up from having that good of a season. That's harsh, but we do have a lot of high dev guys already, so it doesn't really shock me. 87 overall Jaguars. Guess who they signed? Devontae Adams, the guy that should have been signed by somebody in the actual free agency bidding, but, you know, sweet. All right, here it is. The big one. J.J. Watt. Will he retire on top? Or will we continue as they have Trevor Lawrence? Obviously, it's not a guy you want to go up against in sim. Nice touchdown. Good defense. They drove a little bit, but with good defense. 10-0. It's looking okay. So, yeah, let's relax. 13-0. Defense is doing its job. No score there would have been massive. As once again, all those field goals it just negates it. I mean, I say that, but the field goals have won us the game all, and we've poured it on, and he's going to retire on top. The perfect ending. Of course, it'd be very odd if he's like, I retired, and then he's like, psych, one more season. That's happened a lot of times in franchise, a lot. Specifically with guys like Calais Campbell and Jason Kelsey. Those guys seem to never retire in Madden. But absolutely insane. This was almost perfect. We made it to the Super Bowl year 1, I believe. Then we just didn't make it, and then we come back strong with an amazing rookie draft. Evan Ingram at 81, I would say is disgusting, but he's not really that established IRL to really have that pull. So I really whatever. But nice it's perfect. It's perfect. This is literally a script. This is scripted. He does nothing in the postseason, and then he wins Super Bowl MVP with 4 sacks. It's GG. I don't care. I don't care. That's the rebuild. That's the rebuild. Perfection. And of course, they don't have him on the podium. Oh no, of course we don't. I mean, it's not like I didn't know that. It's literally always the same thing. It's always the number 1 quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and middle linebacker, I believe. But still. That is awesome. How do they not at least sub out one of those players for the MVP? Come on. That's what I want to see going forward. It's very simple. It's very obvious. As far as the ratings go, don't get me wrong. I think Watt would have won it regardless, but there really wasn't a performer outside of maybe Chris Carson that would have deserved it anyways. And like I said, he doesn't do a thing. Same with Ojulari. Doesn't do a thing all postseason. And then he comes up with 4 sacks in the freaking Super Bowl, dude. Absolutely clutch. And speaking of clutch, Brett Maher. What a man. 2 extra points out of 2. And he has 4 completed field goals out of 4. That is awesome. Let's talk to JJ, see what he says. We did it, coach. Last team standing world champion. Can't believe it. Couldn't ask for a better ending to my career, or my season. And I couldn't ask for a better ending to my career. Finished the paperwork last week. I'm going to make it official later today. Just finished my last game in the NFL. I wanted to thank you for everything. Sweet. JJ Watt is retiring. Perfection. Let's see what Simmons says. Let's go. We did it. If it is his last season. See, if this is his last season, I don't know if that's just wording or if, they actually intend for the players to sometimes just stick it out, but like I said, I've seen it happen where they don't actually retire. Let's see if that's the case here. And nope, he definitely did retire. Absolutely perfect. That is the most perfect rebuild we ever had. Oh, and Brett Maher retires. No one even mentioned him. It's all about J.J. Watt. Brett Maher said, bye. I'm just going to go off in GOAT status of postseason kicking and just retire after 6 seasons. But there it is. That is the J.J. Watt Arizona Cardinals rebuild. I don't think anything could have went any better than it did here. And I am satisfied for once in a rebuild ending. Finally. But anyways, if you enjoyed that perfect send-off, maybe give me a perfect send-off by leaving a like and subscribing. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays, had Minecraft Dungeons the other day. And tomorrow we'll likely have something up on the second channel. Maybe Cyberpunk or something like that. But we should have a stream tonight at twitch.tv/Jeromepkr at around 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. If it's ever at 9, you would see a video, here saying we're live. Or if you follow me on Twitch, it'll let you know, hopefully, right? Hopefully the notifications work. But yeah, we weren't with one yesterday because of the whole update that was coming out today with the timing and all that. It just wasn't going to work out. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, all that good stuff, like I said. And that's about it. Hope we come back for next video, but until next video, see